Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to use the phone app to manage deliveries, collections and service calls. So you can see here on the App Store, this is where you would get the app and download it. Links will be below the video. Just to show you how to get the jobs onto the app, I'm going to go into this job, and under the logistics tab I can see down below I've got a delivery pending, which what I've done is I've gone into the delivery. I've assigned it to one of my staff members and I've assigned it to Sid. The other thing that I can do here is if I want to book a service call for that job, I can add a service call. And what that would do is it would show you this same screen here, which I've said, can you go out on site and replace the front tire, for example. And I've also added one of my staff members to this job. Now, once they're added to that job, then we can look at the phone app. Now, if I look, Sid's logged in, and basically you would just see an app on your phone, the CloudRent app. And when Sid logs in, he can see his job. So he can see the service call that we've created for Whitlam's Construction. He can also see a delivery for Whitlam's Construction and also a collection for the Marriott Hotel. And so clicking through, we have his clients. So I can search for clients and call them, get details of their address by clicking here, view the billing address. And in here, I can see my inventory, which I can filter. I've got excavators at the moment, but I can just see details of that inventory item by clicking into it, photographs and product details and the description. Now, the other thing is availability. So if I go to a certain date and a client rings, I can then put a date in and then go and search for a category, and I can see that I've got one compact loader available for there. So in coming versions, you'll be able to click into that and then add that to a job. But at the moment, I'm just looking at the driver version. So I'll go back to my home screen. Okay, so on the front screen, we can see a service call, a delivery, and a collection. So the first thing that we're going to have a look at is the service call. So I click into the service call. I can then text the customer, call the customer, find out where the customer is. I can see the notes from my admin, and then I've also got the ability to track the time. So I can go into here and hit the timer and basically track the time on the job. And when I've completed the job, I would just go record, and then I can add the time to this job, and then my staff can actually then create a bill for the time spent on the job if we do track that. The other thing that we can do is we can edit that service. Now, while we're on that job, we had to replace a couple of items. We replaced the oil filter and we give them some gloves, for example. So those items are basically added to the job. And then we can put some notes in there, changed oil, whatever that might be. And then we can go, this is billable. Now, what that means is that in the software, our admin user who's responsible for managing these bills would find this job and be able to process it. And just to show you that, so he signs it, confirms, and then he completes that job. Now, and so that service call is basically completed. Okay, now, as you can see down the bottom here, and what happens in the software is this list here, the task list, we would go in and say, well, what hasn't been billed and is in the list, and then we can go in there, we can see the items in there, we can add the costs and then create the invoice for that bill. Now, the next section that we want to look at is the deliveries. So that was a service. Now we look at the delivery for Whitlam's Construction. He then goes into the delivery. He would then, on the first tab here is the rental, how long it's for, when it starts, when it ends. And then the next tab is the items in the job. So we can see there's an 8 series forklift and also a 239 D3 compact track loader. What we can do here is that with this P means that there's a pre-check form that was created in the system, and they get created in the dashboard, we look at forms. So basically we can see this pre-check operational form, which allows you to just go and add various text fields and change notes and create these forms pre and post for your guys to manage the jobs. So I can then click in that form, and then I can see that and add the serial number that I'm working on, and then pass, fail, and then basically submit that document and sign that document so that we've got that checklist completed. Now, the other thing that we do here is that to push that out, we just say, okay, we've delivered it. And we've also delivered the track loader. And we've supplied the operator to do that. And then we'll just go through to the last tab. We add a signature. And then we can add a document. So the purpose of the documents are basically we'd open the camera and we could take screenshots of the delivery, or if there was any damages that we've encountered, then we would take those photos and they will be stored in the job. Now, where they go to is that in that job, if we go back to the rental list, under this job, on the last tab, any documents that we have, we can see the documents here, and we have a signature. And I'm just going to delete one of those. But this is where we would store the screenshots of any damages, or if we want to just have a shot of, hey, look, here's a good machine before we've delivered it. And the same with collections. So Sid would see his jobs, and here he'd have a collection. In the collection, he would just go through and then bring the gear back. We can see that they're all out and the forklift service has been done. And now we just bring that item back in. So we're just saying that the item is back in, and then we could get another signature to say that, hey, we've taken the gear, right? Whatever. And this is where we would add, if there was any damage, we could say, well, okay, sign that you agree with the damage, and we could open the camera and take shots of that damage. So that's a quick rundown on how you use the mobile app for deliveries, collections, and service calls. Thank you so much for watching.